You can look at all the tea leaves, the tarot cards, all the crystal balls you want, but there are times when all the answers for the future lies within you. Wow, that's pretty deep. But maybe sometimes you just need one thing to fix your future, and that's going to come from the outside. Or maybe we can find a couple of options for our future, but maybe they're all from the same place. What the hell am I talking about? All right, so welcome on into the Blackhawks Daily, folks. I'm PJ Benoit, and this is your home for the real daily story of the Chicago Blackhawks. No fuss, no muss, just a fan. That's me, hanging out with us Hawks homies. That's all you fine people. Talking a little general smack about our opponents. We don't have any, but of course, we're talking hockey. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. And also hit the like button. They're right next to each other. We're over 1,000 subscribers. We're looking to get over 2,000. Would love to have you along the way. And, why the heck not, right? Sky's the limit. Don't forget, please give us a follow on Apple Podcasts and Spotify as well. Great to have you guys along. On today's docket, we got 5 players who could absolutely turn the tides for us on this coming year. Scott Powers over at The Athletic picked out key possible signings for every team, so we're going to discuss the one that he chose for the Hawks. And could there be a future Blackhawk currently playing out in the desert? We're going to talk about that. And of course, your hot takes. So, let's get into it. Oh, first of all, real quick, had a wonderful weekend down at Montrose Harbor. Fantastic Susan G. Komen event. Actually looked a little bit shaky in the beginning. Weather was not cooperating as much as we had hoped. But guess what? All the rain and the chilliness and the windiness blew right over right before the start, and then it turned out to be a beautiful day. So for all the people who participated, all the people who gave to the event in general, gave to Kara in particular over at karatheauthor.com. You can still donate if you wish. Thank you so much. Really, seriously. It was really, really great. Very emotional, everyone getting together to fight against breast cancer. Of course, it's not a one-day thing. It is a lifelong thing. Every day, every week, every month, every year. Just keep fighting against it. But it was very inspirational, very touching, very emotional. All these women and men there, because men get breast cancer too, believe it or not. So it was pretty wild. So my heart goes out to everyone who was there, everyone who did donate. Thank you very much. So it was really uplifting. Fantastic time. So hope everyone had a great weekend, and hope everyone stays safe with today's weather. All right, anyway, let's get into it, folks. So if this team is actually going to take a real step forward in 26-27, it's not going to be about Connor Bedard being great, or it's not just only going to be about him, because obviously he is the centerpiece of the team as we are stepping forward into next year. The bigger question is, who are the players around him that can raise the level along with him on this team, right? Who are the true X-factors who can help push the Blackhawks from just a rebuilding team to a legit playoff team? I'm getting this from our friends over at Blackhawk Up. Because if Chicago's going to climb the standings next season, it's going to take breakout years, internal growth, and young players turning promise into production. So let's get into the 5 biggest X factors for this Blackhawks team. Number 1, Anton Frundell. Let's start with the obvious one, right? He looks like one of the biggest swing pieces on the entire roster heading into next season. After the way he impressed in his first taste of NHL action, right, just 12 games, now the question becomes, how big of a role does he grab in a year, playing full time? Can he play wing with Bedard? Does he center the second line? Can he become a Calder level player right away? If the answer is yes to even 2 of those 3, that's a huge boost for this team. The Hawks need more top 6 skill, more finishing, and more power play punch. And Frundell has a chance to bring all of that. Number 2, the one that we talked about on Friday, was Roman Kanserov. And this is where it gets really interesting. He just signed, the hype is growing, and after a year that he just had over to KHL, there's a real chance he comes over and makes an impact immediately. And if that happens, that changes a lot of things, because one of the biggest things that this team has been missing is another true offensive threat who can play high in the lineup and actually help take pressure off of Bedard. Kanserov could be that guy. Whether he lands on Bedard's line or he plays in the top 6 role with Frundell, his ability to produce right away could be massive. And then, of course, my boy Nick Lardis, right? I think he's one of the most fascinating players on the list. We saw flashes last season. 10 goals in 5 assists in 41 games. Absolutely not nothing. And when you add a point per game pace he had in Rockford, Clearly, he can score. So now the next step for him is just consistency. If he can lock down a top 6 role and turn those flashes into production, obviously 20 goals is absolutely on the table, right? It would be a major development for this forward group. And then, of course, at number 4 is Oliver Moore. Sneaky one. His numbers last season, 5 goals and 14 assists in 51 games, don't tell the whole story. His speed jumped out. His compete level was there for sure. And he gave the Hawks strong defensive value as well, especially on the penalty kill. So the big things for Moore right now are pretty simple. Stay healthy and finish more chances. And if he does that, he can become one of those players who impacts games in a lot of different ways, even when he's not lighting up the score sheet. And then number 5, Sam Rinzel. And last season was pretty uneven, right? No question. 4 goals, 11 assists in 51 games. Not what a lot of people had hoped for, especially when the expectation that he came in with. But defensemen take time. We know that. That's just reality. And if Rinzel can make the kind of second-year jump that we've seen other young defensemen have made in this system, that would be huge, right? The Hawks need more confidence, more poise, more stability on the back end. If Rinzel and Levshunov both take steps, suddenly the blue line looks a heck of a lot more dangerous, right? So to me, these are the 5 biggest X factors next season. Frundell, Kanserov, Lardis, Moore, and Rinzel, right? So let me hear from you guys. Which Blackhawk do you think is going to be the biggest X factor for 27 or for 26-27? Which player do you think has the best chance to break out in a major way? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because that would be amazing. All right, moving on from there, let's talk about this piece. Scott Powers, so he put out this piece about who every team should go out and grab, right? Free agent next year or this coming offseason. And he said that of a realistic veteran that we could get, Mario Ferraro was a name that deserves a serious look, right? So it's not some flashy headline-grabbing move. He's not that. But if the Blackhawks wanted a veteran defenseman, now this gentleman's on San Jose, if we want a veteran defenseman who can bring stability, compete, toughness, and legit NHL minutes to a very young blue line, Ferraro checks a lot of those boxes. So I'm doing a little deep dive off of Scott Powers' suggestion, because the more you look at him, the more fit starts to make sense. So he does fit what we actually need, right? We do not need, obviously, another project on the blue line. We've already got young defensemen who need minutes, development, and support. What we need is someone who can come in and make life easier on that group, and that's where Ferraro stands out. He's a left-shot defenseman. He's 27 years old. He's already played 490 NHL games. This past season in San Jose, he played all 82 games. He put up a career-high 23 points. He averaged just over 21 minutes a night. He finished with 150 block shots and 137 hits. It's a real workload, right? This guy is used to hard minutes. And that matters because the Blackhawks don't need him to be a star. They need him to be a calming presence who can defend, kill plays, absorb tough matchups, and help stabilize shifts when things get messy. And what I like about Ferraro is that he plays with an edge without needing the spotlight. He blocks shots. He plays physically. He kills penalties. He's used to top 4 usage, and he's the kind of defenseman who seems built for just hard, honest minutes. And that's a big deal for a team like Chicago. Because when you think about the Blackhawks young defenseman group right now, right? Levshunov, Korchinski, Rinzel, Kaiser, Crevier. There's talent there. But there's also a lot of inconsistency, and that's normal for a young blue line. Adding Ferraro would give them someone who can help settle that group down. He doesn't have to run the power play. He doesn't have to be the offensive driver. He just has to be steady, hard to play against, and trustworthy. And honestly, that's exactly the kind of veteran that the team needs most. And then there's a catch, right? He just finished a 4-year deal worth $13 million total, carrying a $3.25 million cap hit, and he's heading into free agency UFA type decision territory, depending on how San Jose handles him. So the question for us is not really, is he a fit, right? He probably is. The question is, what kind of contract would it take? Because if Ferraro is looking for a long-term deal, then Kyle Davidson really has to think about term, especially with Alex Vlasic already on the left side, and multiple young defensemen pushing for bigger NHL roles. But if the number and the term are reasonable, well, then it just seems logical, right? He's young enough to still help for multiple seasons, experienced enough to help support the kids, and tough enough to bring someone this blue line still lacks. So no, Mario Ferraro won't be the sexiest move of the offseason, but he might be one of the smarter ones. So let me hear from you guys. Do you want the Blackhawks to go after Mario Ferraro? And if so, what kind of contract would you be comfortable in giving him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And also let me know, is there someone else that you think, in speaking specifically about blue line help, is there someone in mind that you would go after outside of Mario Ferraro that you think would be prime territory to get after? Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You're always wonderful there. Let me know. All right, moving on from there, let's talk about another interesting question heading as we're into this offseason. Is there a future Blackhawks sitting on the Vegas Golden Knights roster right now? I got this from our friends over at Blackhawk Up. Because while Vegas is still in the playoffs, right? They're still chasing playoff success. There's a whole other side of the story, and that is the salary cap crunch that could force them into some very tough decisions this summer. And if Kyle Davidson is paying attention, there could be an opportunity to take advantage. So let's break this down, because there's a couple of different ways that Chicago could look at Vegas as a potential offseason target. So let's start with the obvious one. Mr. Pavel Dorofeyev, right? He's coming off a huge stretch for Vegas, and he's really turned himself into one of the more intriguing young scorers on the market. So according to Greg Boyson, Dorofeyev has scored 72 goals and 116 points over the last 2 seasons, and has become a major weapon on the power play, and that part just kind of jumps off the page. The Blackhawks, I don't know if you remember this or not, but we need more scoring. Yeah, we kind of do. And so we need more finish, and we definitely need more help around Mr. Bedard. So naturally, people are going to wonder about that offer sheet route. But here's the problem. Dorofeyev lands in that projected $7.02 million to $9.36 million AAV range, and the compensation gets expensive. Now we're talking a first, second, and third round pick in 2027. Now, we do have extra draft capital, so it's not impossible. But realistically, Vegas will probably match. So yes, Dorofeyev is an exciting name. I don't know if it's the most likely name. Now, another very interesting option is William Karlsson, because this feels like the kind of move that could actually make sense for both sides. He's got 1 year left on the deal at a $5.9 million cap hit, and Vegas needs flexibility, and this is a type of contract that they may have to move. And for Chicago, taking on that full salary is something we can actually afford. He's still productive, still experienced, and still the kind of player that can help stabilize our top 9. And if you start thinking about a forward group with Bedard, Frundell, Kantsarov, and Karlsson all in the mix, suddenly it starts looking a lot more dangerous than we've seen in the last couple of years. Now, this may not be a long-term splash, but as a short-term addition that can help us, help the team take a step, well, there's definitely some logic there. And then, if we're talking about a player that would not mind seeing in Chicago at all, it's Keegan Colasar. And then we're not about point totals, it's about identity, right? He's big, he's mean, he's a hard-nosed power forward. It's exactly the type of player that the Blackhawks could use in their bottom 6. He brings edge, physicality, and the type of game that makes your team tougher to play against. And those guys matter. And with a $2.5 million cap hit for 2 more years, it's the kind of contract that could be really appealing if Vegas gets desperate enough to move pieces around. I still think Karlsson's probably the more realistic fit. Dorofeyev is the more exciting name. Keegan is a sneaky one, right? But let me hear from you guys. If the Blackhawks are going to target one player from Vegas, who would you want? Dorofeyev, Karlsson, Colasar, or someone else? Let me know in the comments. You guys are always awesome in those comments. And speaking of comments, let's get to them. So, Fubar Totali, 3389, repeat offender extraordinaire. Kantsarov is 22. He's been playing at a high level at a high-level league for 2 years. It's time for him to hit the NHL and find out where he's at. He's 5'9", but solidly built, not unlike DeBrincat, and appears to be a very smart player that makes quick decisions that are usually correct. Absolutely, Fubar. Thank you so much, buddy. Repeat offender. Thank you so much, as always. Jerry, the vegan rock star, becoming a repeat offender extraordinaire. Zhamnov was not happy to come to the Hawks. When a reporter asked what he brings to the team, he said red hair. Thank you so much for that, Jerry. Really appreciate that, buddy. Dwayne Mier, 93-96. I think you throw him in the fire right away. He's talking about Kanserov. First line with Bedard. Hopefully they have some chemistry. Hawks fans know Bedard needs someone to play with. Then you hope they show enough early to keep them together for the long haul. A big, gritty winger with some hockey IQ, defensively responsible to round out the top line. Where that comes from, I don't know, but it would help create space for the other two. No kidding. Very true. Look forward to seeing Kanserov based on what he's done in the KHL. I think he's going to help this team significantly. Here's hoping. Yes, sir, Dwayne. Thank you so much, buddy. I really appreciate that. Joshua Bauman, 3209, repeat offender extraordinaire. Thanks for the content, PJ. Of course, buddy. Did not expect Roman to sign so quickly. Does that point towards an active off-season? It would be cool to hear him training with Bedard and crew. I've heard Levshinov has buckled down training for his breakout arc. Another thing I remembered from last season, Nazar had a lower body injury before the jaw injury, and his speed was impacted for the rest of the season. I hope he's getting good rehab this offseason. What an exciting time to be a Blackhawks fan. I feel lucky to have started with my fandom when they were pretty much rock bottom. All uphill from here. Go Hawks. That's right. It's only up from here, buddy. Way to go, Joshua. Glad you're a part of this, man. And thank you so much. That's right. Go Hawks. Alan T. Willie, 192, repeat offender extraordinary. Hi, PJ and homies. I see Kanserov as a top 6 fixture. Absolutely. I don't think it matters which line he skates on. Blash's job is to determine where Roman fits best. I'm just glad as hell he's officially signed. He's going to be here. Absolutely, buddy. Thank you so much, sir. And then we got Mr. Gel 67. Welcome to the party, pal. Excited, but skate him and see who he fits best with. Power play time for sure, but like you said, it's about fit. Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Welcome to the party, pal. Really appreciate you being here. Scoreboard 23, I believe, is a repeat offender. But if not, welcome to the party, pal. It would be tough to slot that kid in the top 6 without seeing how he handles the speed and the strength of the NHL game. He's a smaller guy. We need to see how he adjusts. That said, still excited to add talent. Hopefully he finds his feet quickly. Yes, sir, Scoreboard. I really think he's going to play really, really well. He's been playing in the KHL. Those aren't small people. I think he's going to find his skates or his feet rather quickly. But thank you. Really appreciate it. Glad you're here, buddy. Thank you for your comment. Appreciate that. Barbecue 420 Historian, I am going to say as a new commenter, because I would hope I would not forget that name. That's a fantastic name. Welcome to the party, pal. We all know about crap trades since 65. Esposito, Rhoda, Roenick, Hasek, Savard, Panarin, etc. Not to mention Bobby Hall to the WHA. Yes, of course. And also what? But you know what, though? Bobby Hall going there helped raise all the salaries for the NHL. So I guess silver linings. But yes, thank you, Barbecue. Welcome to the party, pal. I absolutely love that name. I wish I came up with that name, but perfect. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being a part of this. And welcome to the party. Chris Kavanaugh, 4575, repeat offender extraordinaire. The Esposito Hodge trade cost the Hawks a Stanley Cup, but Hasek trade had more downsides. The Hawks had a deal for Eric Lindros without giving up Chelios or Roenick. It was for Belfour Larmer, who only had a year left in his career, and Steve Smith, another player at the tail end of his career, plus $1 million if they made that trade. He had Hasek with weight backing him up, but Dollar Bill nixed it. It was another one of the top 5 in my 100 reasons for my hatred of Dollar Bill Wirtz. I've mentioned this before, but I do remember back when Dollar Bill Wirtz was running the show, ESPN, the magazine, did a poll on the 121 professional franchises in all of sports, ranking them on team talent, and then also, but on everything, fan base, merchandise, facility, food, like everything, like the whole thing, the experience, everything. And the Blackhawks were dead last. Out of 121 teams, the Blackhawks were number 121. of professional U.S. teams. And then after he died and Rocky took over, within like, I want to say 2 years, if not three at the most, Hawks were back up in the top 10, if not in the top 5, if I remember right. So it just goes to show management can destroy fan bases, but fan bases are always there. So just want to say that. So Chris, you're absolutely right, man. You're right. So thank you for that. And thank you for all you guys. That is a wrap for today, Blackhawks Nation. If you are new here, welcome. Hit that subscribe button for me, please. Let's just keep climbing. Sky's the limit. Really appreciate you. Don't forget, please follow us on Apple Podcasts. Please check us out on Spotify as well. And if you're a regular here, thank you so much for your support. Really do appreciate it. It's just the best. Thank you so much for spreading the word to all your family, friends, and neighbors about the channel. It means so much to me. And building this community with you, it's the best, right? It's the very best community in all of hockey, in all of sports, really. It is. It just makes my everyday. It's an absolute honor. So, as we always say, we celebrate the very best team in hockey. That's our beloved Blackhawks, with the very best fans in all of sports. That's all of you guys in the greatest city that this beautiful, gorgeous blue dot has ever known. That is our wonderful Chicago. And I'm PJ Benoit, and I will see you next time on the Blackhawks Daily.